William! You're listening to the Triple Threat Podcast. You're listening to the Triple Threat Podcast. You're listening to the Triple Threat Podcast, and it's starting right now. Hey, everybody. Good tidings we bring to you and your king. This is the Triple Threat Podcast. I am Alex Vaughn, coming to you from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, North America, the world, the Milky Way galaxy, the universe. I don't know if that's in the proper order. With me, as always, are my younger brother, Matt.
This is Matt. I am Matt. You see?
Oh, boy. And my older bro, across through the water, across the ocean, first time ever, William C.
So this is William. Yeah, that's me.
It almost was like we planned that, which we didn't do at all. So
no, we did not, but we might as well have.
Welcome. It is December 6th, and that's as good enough time as ever to get festive.
Yeah,
Festival with the rest of y'all.
It's also December 7th.
It's December 7th. Simple.
We've moved on from celebrating the Halifax explosion, or rather...
Celebrating it. Yeah, way to go.
Not celebrating it. Boo the explosion.
Too soon.
Why'd you
way
blow
to go,
up, man?
Captain of the emo or Mont Blanc or whoever was responsible.
I read a book about it last year, but I don't remember what it was. So
good. All right, you're the authority.
I remember the book. I don't remember who they found.
That's a brilliant thing about reading books and not retaining any information. It's just a complete waste of time.
You still get to have said you read it.
Yeah, you get and then someone goes, "What's it about?" And you go,
It's a very interesting take on the events, and I quite enjoyed it. But
the goings-ons,
read it yourself,
and the what's not, and the flora and fauna around Halifax.
You tell me, right? Did you read that? Did you read it? Did you read it?
Come at me. Wait, so where's the emo from?
Cover to cover.
Belgium.
Okay. And Mont Blanc, of course, is from
Belgium.
Also Belgium. Halifax in Belgium.
I mean, if only any of us have ever gone to Belgium in our lives, we might have more.
I have been to Belgium. I've been to Bruges. However, they don't have. They probably do have. I could not locate the list of every ship to ever come from that nation. So I do apologize for that.
That's not at the airport. That's not at the Belgium International Airport, which is obviously
it might. It could be. I did not fly to or from Belgium, and that's probably in Brussels, which I did not attend. I did not attend the Brussels. I was in.
Oh yeah, you weren't in the airport. Is that how they pronounce it?
The West Flemish that is native to Bruges. When they say Bruges, it's more like Brach.
Really? Interesting.
And what's interesting about it is the term braja in Spanish. It sounds similar to witch in Spanish. So when Spanish people came to Bruges for the first time, they all thought it was a city full of witches. And to this day, it's still it's not thought of that way. But Bruges, during I was there in October, so getting close to Halloween, and they have a lot of witch-related decorations and things like that. So they've sort of embraced it. As you'll find, any kind of touristy town will embrace anything about it.
About itself, right?
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's true or not. So they're kind of like, it has nothing to do with witches. It just sounds similar to the Spanish word for witch.
It's kind of like how I felt when I went back to Halifax some years ago, and it was making a big deal. It's like there were a bunch of like pirate things around the waterfront. Very into piratey stuff.
What are the front of those little statues on the front of ships called again?
I know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
It's not a masthead. I don't think it's a masthead. That can't be right. I'm not
Mastodon, maybe?
It's a mastodon, saber-toothed tiger, Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, masthead is like the logo on a newspaper.
That's what
I just want to apologize just ahead of time to everybody who is currently saying like, "Oh my gosh, how do you not know this?" I guess it's a figurehead. Would we call it a figurehead?
We'll go with that.
Yeah, Wikipedia says figurehead.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Okay. The thing at the main front door of a ship.
The front door?
You knock, you'll go in right there. It's perfect.
You grab the knocker and it turns into Goofy.
Yeah. Whoa, what is that from?
I think it's Mickey's Christmas Carol. Or it might be turned into something else.
What does in the Muppet Christmas Carol? What does the doorknob turn into?
It turns
into Farley and Barley.
Chris Farley?
Marley
Chris
and Marley,
Farley.
but it's Sadler and Waldorf, but I can't remember which one it is. It's the one without the mustache, though.
Yeah.
Turns into the door knocker.
Oh, man, that movie's depressing. Can't wait to watch it this year.
I'm so excited.
That's right. Oh, man. MC in the place to be. Rocking with KTF.
That's Michael Caine, and the place to be would be wherever the heck Scrooge lives.
London. Near some sort of store that has the largest turkey in the world.
That's right. From London. I don't think he gets the biggest turkey. Doesn't he get the biggest goose?
Ooh.
Just get me the biggest goose in the window.
Christmas sucks.
Any Muppet heads out there? Muppet Christmas Carol heads? Try to be very specific.
I think that would be us.
What would Charles Dickens fans be called? Would they be called dickheads?
Oh, my God.
Well, I'm just asking. Would they be called... Hey, you read...
I can't think of anything wrong with that. So.
Tale of Two Cities. Pick up Tale... Oh, dude, Tale of Two Cities. Cover to cover. I'm a huge
Oh,
dickhead.
man, I'm a total dickhead. I just can't stop reading.
I'm such a dickhead. Oh, my God.
Mom's going to hate it. Sorry, no, cut that out. Shit.
David
sorry.
I don't know if we'll cut any of this out.
That's right. Let's pepper this with as many S-bombs and D-bombs as we can.
So, what are we talking about anything this week, you guys?
No, we won't. Let's not.
Yeah, we've been talking this entire time.
No.
Oh, I see what you did there. Hey,
we're talking Rocky 7.
Yes, Rocky.
I mean, can we really call it a Rocky movie? It doesn't say Rocky in the title. That was that's what
I know.
needed.
I mean, don't take that so literally.
Okay.
The 7th movie to have Rocky Balboa as a character,
and it's very much in the Rocky vein. It's a Rocky story, which just with
almost
that follows the kid.
So Will and I have both seen it, which means I don't know. We might spoil it for Matt. All those some spoilers.
Can you talk about it without?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, there's some parts that I will say what happens. I don't really spoil any storyline.
Yeah,
how about that?
Okay.
So we'll tell you where, say, the fighter he fights at the end of the movie is from.
I figured you'd.
I might mention that.
I figured you'd be into that.
I apologize ahead of time. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Matt. You saw Spotlight, so you also have to talk about that without spoiling it.
I mean, don't spoil that either. You can spoil
sure. I don't know if you can spoil that movie.
Because is that? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that based on a real event?
It's based on a real event.
So.
A real event.
Which I can't really very much so.
Kind of hard to spoil.
Written by the writer of The Cobbler, starring Adam Sandler.
Wait,
is it?
And Reign Over Me. Yeah, it's Tom McCarthy. So he did like Station Agent, Reign Over Me, another one, and they did one recently with Adam Sandler that bombed.
Is Adam
Sandler his name's
in
Tom
this
McCarthy?
Film?
No.
He doesn't.
Isn't the Ridiculous 6 out soon?
I mean,
like
sure.
he has that.
Netflix. On Netflix. I think a trailer of that came out that I somehow missed.
You know, I'm going to start doing on this podcast, which might annoy people, but I have to start talking a lot slower because when I listen back to it, all I hear is me going like, and it drives me absolutely
you can take
bonkers.
your time.
So I use it like or as or something, not as or some sort of filler that's really annoying. So I'm going to talk very slowly so we don't use that as filler. And every time I do it, I will have a shock collar on me. Matt will have the remote, and then he can shock me anytime I say the word Like.
Boom.
I'm a baller and a shock collar.
Yes.
I'm a hacker.
What else are we talking about? I said something else we were talking about. Oh, yes. Matt Schaub's debut on Monday Night Football as Ravens quarterback, doing what he does best. So we can, let's start off with that, actually. Let's start off with the Baltimore Ravens against the Cleveland Browns. And here's
last week's matchup.
This is last week's matchup, yeah. The last Monday Night Football.
Last MNF, yes.
Yes. And what I forget sometimes is you see that and you go, oh, it's a 3-7 team against a 2-8 team. Who the heck's going to watch it? But you forget that it can still be a very good and entertaining game. And this one was. It goes right down to the wire. Lots of interesting things happen, almost to a college game level of, special teams, turnovers, things like that, big plays here and there. It's almost better than watching the two best teams go at it. No, it's not better than that, but it's not as poorly played a game as you might assume. So, as much as you want to say like, these teams both stink, it's still good. And Will, you had a stake in it, but you didn't watch it. You had a pork chop in it.
I've been off like every Monday the last 3 months, and then just randomly I had to work this one. But such is life. You got to make the dollars where you can.
What time does Monday Night Football start out there? 5:30 is kickoff.
It starts at noon. Starts at noon, and
it starts at noon on Saturday. That's when Monday Night
starts at noon on Saturday, and
out.
It ends Friday at 2. And it's good. It saves a lot of time. So
I forgot time goes backwards there.
Yeah, it does, which is why I stayed so youthful. I Benjamin Buttoned when I moved out here.
Everyone should do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recommend. That's why the rent is so high. The rent's too damn high. What's the name of that guy? That Keenan.
Why? If you remember that, I'd be mad at you. Because why would you remember that guy's name?
Yeah, everyone knows. Because
he's such a character.
Everyone knows who you're talking about. But if you remember his name, there's something wrong with it. Something wrong with you.
I think it's Crazy Mick. It's like, what was he running? It doesn't matter. So yes, there was a Monday night game. It was the 3-7. Oh my goodness! Oh, that guy's tearing his New Jersey in half. That's amazing. Sorry, I'm just watching a video of this final drive.
Good, you're not doing anything else right now.
Yeah, I'm just really glad
fan tearing his jersey in half, and it's the new one from this year.
He's tearing the state of New Jersey in half?
No, he's Cleveland.
Yeah, he's tearing it right from Yonkers. No, that's in New York. To Kathmandu. So
here's how it went for me. I was watching the game. There's about a minute and 2 minutes left, and Baltimore's up a touchdown. Cleveland's quarterback, Josh McCown, got injured. Johnny Manziel's the third stringer, so in comes everyone's favorite quarterback, Austin Davis. Everyone's really pumped for the comeback.
He's my fantasy football starter.
I'm going to bed. Was he actually?
No, he might as well be, though.
Might as well have been, yeah.
It stinks on toast.
And then I look, and I'm like... Then I see the score on my phone application, and I think, wow, the game is now tied. But there's a minute left. It'll go into overtime. It's almost 1 a.m. I'm going to B. And then all heck breaks loose. Will, you want to tell everyone what happened?
Just from what I've seen.
From the perspective of a Baltimore Ravens fan. So you haven't seen this previously. You've heard what happens.
I knew what happened, yeah.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, the game's tied. 3 seconds to go. Cleveland lines up for a 51-yard field goal.
51-yard field goal.
Outside.
27-27. Worst thing that happens, they miss the field goal. It goes into overtime. Sort of like the Pats in the Super Bowl. 17-17. You drive down. Hey, if you miss it, you still get another chance in overtime. What is there to lose? What could possibly go wrong?
Which is always great football asking. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I'll tell you what could possibly go wrong. The field goal was blocked by, I don't remember the name of the player, but it's a fella playing his first game in the league, I think. And Will Hill.
Okay, so big deal. The field, gets blocked. They're on their own 45-yard line or 38-yard line. Yeah,
big deal.
Big whoops.
Big whoop. So what? Want to find about it? It gets blocked, and so right at
all
that
Cleveland's
second,
got to do is fall on it. It's going to go to overtime.
Yeah, all you got to do is fall on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gets scooped up by Will Hill.
Drew Hill, bringing the heat.
Who can do the entire Wild Wild West song by himself because he doesn't need Will Smith or Drew Hill because he's Will Hill. But he does need cool Mo D. But the Ravens needed no Mo D that night because it was the last play of the game, and Will Hill runs it back for a touchdown. The Ravens win 33-27. So
Mike Tirico loses his mind. I would love to hear the Ravens radio broadcast from that.
Oh,
Show
yes.
ponies, rainbows. Where's the beef? Still my favorite call in radio history, but that is a little homerism in me.
Where's what's his name? Gus.
Gus.
You know who I mean.
Gus. Yeah, I know exactly who you mean. Gus from Fox Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the Thursday Nighter last week. He did one.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I think he did the Green Bay Chicago game. I think he's like the third stringer.
Oh, because they had to because there were 3 games that day.
Yeah, I think.
What?
But
no, bring back Chris Berman and Trent Dilfer were a good combination when they did that Monday night game at the beginning of the season.
Every year, because every year there's 2 Monday Night Football games to start the season. And every year, Susie's on the desk doing the pregame, which I'm not a fan of, and then Chris Berman's there.
Yeah.
What I love most about the game, the ending was cool. What I love is Matt Schaub's continued dedication to throwing pick sixes. Mm-hmm. Hasn't started a game, just burped into the mic. Hasn't started a game since 2013 and throws a pick six, which he has some unbelievable, untimely knack of doing constantly. No one else can do this as well as he does. It's actually impressive. I'm not mad. It's amazing.
I'm impressed. But good news to the Ravens that if they don't want to go with Matt Schaub, I heard that Ryan Mallett is working out with them right now. So
what about JC?
We're looking good.
Christmas time, bring JC in there.
JC, see if you can.
Jimmy Clausen.
Yeah, see if you can be away in a manger, away in the end zone. I don't know. I mean, obviously our prospects are not good.
So, folks, don't forget about the quality of football. The entertainment level of games is not necessarily dependent on the record of the teams playing in it. You can still have
any given Monday.
That's not the first
Sunday.
time that's happened. That happened in 1985 with the Broncos against the San Diego Chargers.
What game was that?
I don't know, just some random game. There's a whole article about the Cleveland Browns fans. Like, are you upset? They're like, no, I'm just numb. Like, I don't feel feelings anymore. Because you forget, too, if you're me, that the Baltimore Ravens used to be the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And then they got moved by Art Modell in 1995 or 6.
So
they're not too pleased about it. Right, because the 30 for 30 is called Cleveland 95, which gives you great insight into Bill Belichick and his staff at the time.
And then the Ravens came back. The Browns came back 3 years later.
Yes.
To Cleveland. By the way, Jimmy McMillan is the name of the Rennes two-time high party guy. There's also a 30 for 30 about the Colts leaving Baltimore for Indianapolis. It's probably a 30 for 30 about every team leaving somewhere at some point.
Absolutely not. That's not true. There's not a 30 for 30 about the Atlanta
Thrashers
going to Winnipeg. Or the the New Orleans Jazz going to Utah.
I wonder why. Yeah, I'd like to see that though, because I wonder what the thinking behind that was.
What the haps is. I don't think you have as much access to things like that.
Utah, where they don't allow music. So that was all the fun the Ravens are going to have for the rest of the season, and I missed it. So, story of my season, anyway.
Story of my life. Take
as
her
a fan.
Home, drive all night.
Do you guys have anything you want to say about your primetime game that happened last week? I'm not trying to I'm not poking. I got nothing to stand on here. So
yeah, it's really hard to make a comeback without Dion Lewis, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, and Rob Gronkowski. So
it's ridiculous.
I think
amount
part
of injuries.
Because Matt and I watched it together, and Matt, I might be speaking for you, but I think when Gronk went down in the fashion he went down, just lying on the field, writhing in pain, holding his right knee, you're just like, oh, that is the season. The season is right there under that patella. So,
but okay, I gotta say something real quick. I didn't love.
Say it as slowly as you want, man.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop talking about Dion Lewis because he wasn't there last year and we were fine.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I just think it's.
But
not
we had Shane
big of a
Vereen
deal.
last year.
We did have Shane Vereen last year.
We do not have a quality receiving back without either one of those.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Bill Simmons had very good points about the new strategy for running strategy of LeGarrette Blount in the last couple games.
Hit the line, fall forward.
Hit the line, fall forward.
Yeah.
Oh, is that way?
He's just not. He's just walking in there.
He also said that LeGarrette Blount died.
Whoa.
Yes, they said. Yeah, he's not in the injury report, even though he was dead.
He died 3 weeks ago. Yeah. It is one of those like Gronk going down is one of those things. It's like, well, of course, like nothing.
Well, it's also the thing you live in constant fear of if you're a Pats fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he's such a game changer, and he's had been so prone to injury up till last year. So what happens is you think the season's over. Rob Gronkowski tore his ACL, MCL. On the replay, you can see that his leg wasn't planted when it gets hit, and in my head, I go, okay, well, if it just gets twisted in the air, if it whips. And then it nays. It can't be.
And it does a stanky leg.
It's a stanky leg. I just love that song because she comes in. You already know who it is. I don't. I guarantee you I don't. because this guy has not had a song out ever that I'm aware of. But thanks, other lady. Is she Silento? I don't know.
Sorry.
So post game, so the Pats lose. We turn off the TV immediately. Like literally as soon as C.J. Anderson breaks through the end zone, TV's off. We leave. Then halfway through on the drive home, Matt goes, "What if there was a flag on that last play?" And we're just like, "Yeah." But we're still mad about Gronk, so we're just like, forget about it.
Yeah, as if we're that fortunate.
Yeah, exactly. They could not. As soon as Hightower went out, that was another injury on top of Jamie Collins, on top of Nate Solder. So the Pats I will say, are kind of rivaling the Ravens for injuries. They're just not. I mean, in Suggs, Steve Smith, Forsett, Flacco's case, they're all season-ending. In the Pats' case, I think that's only the case of Nate Solder. Oh, Dion Lewis and Nate Solder.
Yeah, Lewis Goff.
I get what you're saying, Matt, where you say we can't get too upset about Dion Lewis being out, but you see the effect in the offense. Brady's always had a great check down, third down, catch, receiving back, whether it's Kevin Falk, Danny Woodhead for a little bit, or Shane Vereen. And when he loses that, it does have an effect on the team.
Yeah, I think that there's an opportunity for somebody to step up in some way.
It should be James White. He is the third down receiving back. He's just not showing right now.
Oh,
and it wasn't good conditions. They were marveling over C.J. Anderson's ability to cut in the conditions. They called him a mutter. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, honestly, we had this marked as a loss. Like if we were going to say, we finish 13-3 or 14-2. This game was one we expected to possibly be a loss. So I don't want to. They're 10-1, so they're fully in control right now. They played the Eagles yesterday, so we'll see what happened there. Damn it,
we'll see what happened there. Yeah,
we'll see what happened there because
we can watch the highlights on the show.
It was weird that cable TV went out for everybody yesterday for the whole day.
That was very weird. That's very all over the world, and nobody had the internet at all. It's weird.
I was like, who did this? And they're like, you already know who it is. And I was like, Silento. He knocked it out. And they're like, no. Bane.
I just wanted to know how the Ravens did against the Primates yesterday. But that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me and anybody from Miami. The U. They get the Sunday nighter against the Steelers when I'm back in Nova Scotia. Well, that'll be a whole lot of fun. Right? I'll get around the TV. Actually, I'm at my friend's party.
Oh, and this Sunday, the Pats got flexed into Sunday Night Football against the Houston Texans in Houston. If Gronk is healthy to play, by the way, if Gronk is healthy to play, I would not play him. That field is notorious for ruining people's knees. Just leave him out. There's no reason for him to play until he's 100%. When they're little.
Yeah, Wes Welker's like half his size.
Well, Wes Welker went down. Jadeveon Clowney went down. That field's notoriously bad quality.
Yeah, you're right. So wait, they play the Sunday nighter when? On the 13th?
On the 13th, yeah.
Okay, so Ravens got flexed out and Pats got flexed in. All right. Okay. All right. I understand. I know. Right. Look. Okay. I know why.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. It's good. It's a nice mustache. All right. I get it. Sports are sports.
Speaking of mustaches,
yes.
Creed. Let's talk about Creed.
Apollo Creed had a mustache in Rocky 1, 2, and 3, and 4.
Well, Adonis Johnson Creed, Don Johnson, Adonis Creed, whatever you want to call him. Before we even get into the movie, I will say about halfway through the movie, I was like, that's a fake mustache. But
no, it's not.
No, it's not. But in all honesty, I was kind of watching. I'm like, man, he's got a. I said like again. I hate this.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm thinking to myself, oh man, he's just rocking a mustache right now. That takes guts. And so props to you.
Did he not have anything on his chin? I never noticed.
He had maybe a little something, but it's
I guess he's supposed to be little Apollo, right? So he's got a little mustache. Apollo had a big mustache. He's
supposed to be baby Creed. Baby Creed.
Hey, don't call me that, man. Don't call me that.
Will, thoughts on Creed in 176 words or less?
So there's something going on with me, and I don't know what it is, but over the last couple of years, I've been crying a lot at movies. And I don't know.
Oh, this is a terrible one to go to then.
Well, I mean, yes. So I've been crying a lot of movies, but like in weird places, like in Frozen when she sings, "Do you want to build a snowman?" I was like, just build a snowman with her.
So hold on. Do you cry actually?
Yeah. Oh, tears. Tears.
Okay, so I never cry. I just have to make a concerted effort not to.
So, okay. So here's the thing. So sometimes there's some
me? As for me.
Sometimes little drippy droppies. Happens a lot during musicals when people are singing and that sort of thing.
I get that too. I get overwhelmed sometimes, and I don't know why.
I'm just a sensitive soul.
No,
but I seem thick-skinned.
We're 28 and 31-year-old man. We shouldn't get emotional when a girl sings, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
But I just build a snowman with her, man.
Because she's cursed.
She is cursed. And since birth, I've been cursed. I've been cursing. So Creed, I went and saw this movie by myself.
Me also.
And I, especially toward the end, I was dying. I've never cried. I don't know if I cried that hard in my life.
Oh my
I was
God.
like,
are you sobbing in the theaters by yourself?
I was sobbing by myself in the theater, like not like loudly, like very silently, but like having to wipe on my face. And then I like see myself in the mirror after taking a whiz and washing my hands. I'm like, wow, my eyes are bloodshot red.
You gotta take some time in the theater by yourself, man.
Yeah, you gotta wait till all the credits are done.
Yeah, I couldn't though, because then the staff comes out with their like, hey, we have trays for garbage here, just in case you don't know what a garbage can looks like. I'm like, I don't want to have them come over and be like, sir, can you please leave the... Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, is it over? No. Okay, thanks. Can you give me a hug? So I was dying during this movie. This is good. I think it's a good man cry movie. But what I quite enjoyed it, the movie. What I realized watching it, I'm like, I guess I'm a bigger Rocky fan than I thought.
Oh my God, I'm a huge Rocky fan. I think
the Rocky formula, it just works so well. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was great to see this. It was great to see Sly as Rocky and taking somewhat of a backseat to this new kid. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who. I don't know. I gotta look up these guys who wrote it and directed it.
It's Ryan Coogler. So Ryan Coogler wrote and directed a movie called Fruitvale Station, which is about a kid named Oscar Grant who was murdered by police in Oakland on New Year's Eve. I want to say 3 or 4, maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah, a guy was telling me about that movie.
So he had wanted to make Creed before Fruitvale Station came out, and had actually met with Sylvester Stallone about it. Because he's, obviously the gatekeeper of that. And I apologize for kind of stepping on your toes here.
No, I need this information.
Yeah. So he was kind of a newcomer and made this movie, Fruitvale Station, and talked to Rocky Sylvester Stallone beforehand.
He is Rocky, though.
Like, yeah, and Sylvester Stallone just goes, no, Rocky Balboa, I left the character. I wanted to leave it. That's it. I'm kind of done with it. And Coogler was like, all right. And he was already working with Michael B. Jordan on this. And the Fruitvale Station, it's on Netflix. It's a good flick. Not exactly a heart warmer, but it kind of opens up that, the Ferguson and other things. It's kind of one of the first instances of a young guy getting killed by police for seemingly no reason other than race, even though we don't really know what happened. So then Sylvester Stallone saw Fruitvale Station and kind of came around to it, and they put a script together and kind of worked with Sylvester Stallone mostly for Rocky's voice specifically, and kind of built it from there. So his name's Ryan Coogler. He hasn't done too much other than Fruitvale Station, this one, but
he's younger than I am.
He is my
86.
86.
Yeah.
He's a young gun.
He's good.
And he's got a good future. So. I mean, go ahead about what you're going to say about him.
No, after this movie especially. So this is, they shouldn't have called it like Rocky 6 or Rocky 7 or whatever. No, Rocky 6 already happened. This is Creed. I like the nomenclature. It's like, so Rocky had his stories where he fights in every movie. Now we have, Apollo Creed's kid, and let's call these movies Creed. And I think they have a plan to make some more, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's interesting. I heard Michael B. Jordan, who's the star of this movie, on Bill Simmons' podcast, and he's kind of close to the Bill. He's been on there a couple times, and inadvertently he calls it Creed 1 about 3 or 4 times.
Ooh, okay, yeah,
seriously, yeah. So on Creed 1, you're like,
yeah,
and he's
I don't
still
know why you call that one.
Trying to stay in shape, which I don't want to. He just didn't really look like a boxer to me, did he? Will to you?
I felt he got like bigger as the thing went along,
ripped out of his mind.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be.
I was being sarcastic, by the way. He looks insanely in shape.
No, he looks wonderful. At one point, he's supposed to be fighting at like 175, I think.
Yeah,
and he's about 180. No, he looks great the whole way through, but I think he gets bigger as the movie goes along. So by the time he gets to that last fight at the end, he kind of looks like Carl Weathers did. in the Rocky movies.
To not give too much away on that, another thing
Yeah.
I learned in the podcast is they filmed all the boxing stuff first. So when you see him kind of in street clothes or doing the training stuff, that's filmed afterwards. And so he might look a little smaller because of just the transition there. The boxing heavy was all at the beginning.
I do that. I do that all at the end. It's like, if he gets punched, that's fine. We already shot most of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like It's like Harrison Ford being dragged by the truck in Last Crusade. He's like, Steven decided to have this shot be one of the last ones we shoot in the movie because he already shot most of it. That's good. It's good. The boxing is photographed wonderfully.
It's really well. It's technically sound in the boxing front of it. It looks really good.
Yeah, I think the boxing front looks good. The love story in it's good. It's got a lot of nice drama with, and Rocky kind of updates people on how certain people in the other film are doing. This doesn't really spoil anything. No. Well, his kid was in Rocky 6. That was a big part of it.
Yes,
Rocky
played by Milo Birbiglia.
Yeah, Mike Birbiglia is his son. And he got kind of written out of it. He said he actually lives in a place called Vancouver. I'm like, hey, shut up. Shout out to Vancouver.
How about Vancouver, that? Washington.
Yeah. He's like, a place called Vancouver. Washington, not BC. Definitely not BC. But yes,
do you almost expect, I don't want to give too much away, but you almost expect Sylvester Stallone to take over, and he plays a very understated. I think he's not incredible, but incredible for what you would expect Sylvester Stallone to be. I thought he was amazing. I agree with you, Will. It's a very emotional movie.
One scene in particular, I'm like, wow, Sylvester Stallone's making me cry with his acting and not in the usual way.
Exactly. And I know exactly what scene you're talking about. And you're like, oh, that is...
crushing, man.
Yeah,
it's crushing.
It really is.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like 2 or 3 specific lines, even one that Creed gives near the very end where I'm just like,
oh, dude, crushing.
BJ Novak had said something. He's in a podcast I listened to. I talked about podcasts last year. He's on the Tim Ferriss podcast, and he's talking about good writing, and that a good comedian and a good writer can have something in front of you the entire time without you really seeing it, and then the reveal, you're just like, well, yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And as soon as he said what he said, I was like, oh my god, of course,
because it's there.
Yeah, it's right there the whole time, but it's so understated.
He says it to you, and you're like, that's it. That's it right there.
Yep.
That's it right there.
Now I understand everything. So so I will say, I was excited when I heard of this project. I'm a huge Rocky fan, Rocky 1 through 4 and 6.
We can
forget 5.
Because and I also think Creed only happens because Rocky Balboa came out. Like if this was the next one after Rocky 5, I don't know if it would even happen.
No.
So I'm glad Rocky Balboa came out so Rocky could do one last time. Although I am looking forward to Creed 2 when Rocky and Creed tag team against Mr. T and Hulk Hogan as Clubber Lang and Thunder Lips, okay? And they do a big schmaz in Creed 2. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big schmoz. There are already booked for this. This is all
happening.
If I go see this movie, I can't remember the last time I was so excited to see a movie, and like I'm sitting down and my chest is like ready to burst. I'm so excited for the movie to start. It starts. It's kind of like exactly what you want to get out of this movie. I've been a big Michael B. Jordan fan for a while. He's in the first season of The Wire when he's like 15. He did Friday Night Lights, the last 2 seasons of Friday Night Lights as Vince the quarterback, and a couple other things so I've been a big fan of his. He's the perfect guy to play the role.
Yep.
And it's a very well done movie. And then Matt, I don't think this spoils anything, but they do a really good job of modernizing it in a stupid way, but he's sitting in bed one night and he's looking on his iPad and he's watching HBO 24/7, which is covering an upcoming boxing match between the number 1 fighter in the world and some other guy. And this number 1 fighter in the world is from Liverpool, England. Yeah. So they show him like throwing fists, overlooking the skyline of Liverpool, which is where I was a couple months ago on the Liverpool FC bus tour on the way to the stadium. And then they show Goodison Park, where Everton plays in Liverpool, and that's going to be the site of the fight and all that. So just kind of another thing where I'm like, yeah, this movie was certainly made for me. So.
It was made for Alex.
It was made for me. Thank you, everyone. I did help write the script, of course.
It's like, yeah, I'm watching it. I'm like, not only am I enjoying the movie so much, and like the last fight, holy cow! Just like even the entrances in the last fight, like,
yeah, Matt. I hope this doesn't give it away, but it ends with a big fight.
It ends in a boxing match.
Yeah, I feel bad for getting you guys to not say anything because I mean the chances of me seeing it aren't great. But
there's not too much we're gonna add without really giving stuff away, and we won't get into that. So I think it's just little.
It's not
little
a movie
plot
where
points.
there's like it's not a movie where there's lots of twists. There's like and
even the girl, the love interest. I think is very well formed. Even though the movie's not about her, she has her own thing. P. Rash is really good in it. She does a good job.
P. Rash,
P-Rash,
Actually, P. Rash is terrible. Don't call Felicia Rashad fans P. Rash. It's like calling Charles Dickens fans dickheads. Don't call her P. Rash. It's not a good.
I thought you were talking about Jim Rash for a second.
It's not a good nickname. But I do think
thought
also
P. Rash was Jim Rash.
Oh, and this won't spoil anything. But I like that Creed's cut man is Stitch, who was fired from UFC.
Yes, was for some comments there, and he's the only guy you'd ever recognize. Like this guy's the #1 cut man. You're like, all right.
It's like, oh, it's Stitch. And there are a couple like character actors that pop up here and there. You're like, yeah, I've seen him in other stuff before.
One guy was from The Dark Knight, and I was like, right, you're from The Dark Knight.
Yeah, it's the guy from The Dark Knight, and one guy was Dwalin from the Hobbit movies.
Yes, yes.
I couldn't believe I recognized him too. It was like,
I thought it was Sting. I was like, oh, Sting's playing this guy's manager. That's awesome. And the guys in the movie who play boxers
I think
are
they're real
actual
boxers.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay,
and you
the guy who plays the main boxer is definitely a boxer.
Yeah, and you listen to even the light heavyweight guy fights, and even the guy who shows up in the gym, in the beginning, are all pro boxers. Andre Ward's his name. He's probably the most famous of them. And he's talking, Michael B. Jordan, again, explaining things, saying that when they're fighting, they're trying to coordinate it and do kind of a blocking way of doing it, but it involves slow motion shots. It involves certain coordination. And Sylvester Stallone's just on looking. He's just like, yeah, so you guys just actually have to hit each other. It's the only way to make it look good. Sylvester Stallone got pretty, I wouldn't say severely, but injured in shooting Rocky IV when Dolph Lundgren punched him in the chest and basically stopped his heart and had to get rushed to hospital. So there's a slow motion shot where some guy takes a shot to the face, and Sylvester Stallone's just like, yeah, you just have to actually get punched in the face because it looks stupid in slow motion otherwise. And one shot in, so I don't know.
It might be good. I won't
talk too much about it.
I could talk about this movie for like the running.
I am already going to see it again. I guarantee you. I'm such a huge.
There's so many because Ian was the only guy I knew who watched it. And he's a friend of the show. He's the only guy I knew who watched it. So after I was just texting him like, and then with the. So that's what this would have been.
It's really hard for me to. Yeah, we'd just be like, oh man, and this. And like, I would be watching a sequence and just like for 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, "Oh man, my whole body! Like I am flexing every muscle in my body right now. I am very much in the scene." So it's hard for me to rate the movie. I'll try to, but I'm such a homer for the Rocky franchise that it's really hard for me to really give it any type of critique. There are a couple things I didn't like about it, but really can really let any of that pass, and not even anything I could name off the top of my head. But
it's not perfect. It's just very good, and the parts they do well, they do so well.
It's exactly what I wanted. It did pretty well to open just before Thanksgiving, and made about 42 between the Wednesday when it opened on Thanksgiving, 42 million.
It's gonna be pretty good because I can't imagine it would cost that much to make.
No, I'd say it costs 25, maybe 30.
Something like that, right? Like it's not a very effects heavy movie at all, really.
And there's been very small talk of Sylvester Stallone, possibly getting an Oscar nomination, but I don't think that's going to happen once we see these other movies come out.
Well, you watched the list
and stuff like that, and if he did, I would assume it would really only be a nomination.
Be a nomination,
Not you'd be like he's going to win. So, Will, I don't know if you want to give it out of 10. How many?
I don't know.
How many
think,
rounds out of 12 would you give it?
Yeah, right. I don't know if I want to give out number ratings anymore, just because
it's hard.
It's hard, and I don't like just labeling a project with a number. And that's fine, people who do, but I don't know if it's my style.
I'm going to see it again.
I just thought it was remarkable.
Yeah.
And it's definitely one you'd watch again.
I'm a big Michael B. Jordan fan, and we'll do check out and Matt as well. I think Fruitvale Station is still on Netflix,
right?
but give that a look. It's supposed to be good, and I can't see you're going to be hearing a lot of Ryan Coogler, but he seems to be an up and comer who's kind of hit the scene already. So, yeah,
it looks like
I'd recommend it, Matt, to see it if you could.
Yeah,
Fruitvale Station is not on the Netflix that I have. It might be on the American Netflix.
Okay.
But high recommendation for really anybody to check it out. But guys especially, because guys, obviously guys love Rocky movies, and this movie is carries on the franchise wonderfully well.
Yes. I just find Rocky the character so charming. He has these little asides.
Because he shows up, he's like, all right,
hey, Rocky, what's up?
Like he's giving
scenes.
Creed, like not even this doesn't spoil it, but it's a nice little touch where he's like giving Creed. He's like, all right, you got to do 3 rounds of skipping rope. And do 3, and he's like, and 5 rounds of shadow. He has a W in shadow. W, shadow bar. Here you go. And it's great because Rocky's just like, I don't know about
it's
that.
In the cloud.
Like,
what cloud?
What cloud looks up? What cloud? He's great. Rocky's great.
Just give me something to drink.
He's got the best marriage proposal ever in movies. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind marrying me too much.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Tiger, we're getting married. You come to the ceremony. Oh, God, I love Rocky. I want to do a marathon right after I saw it.
I'm looking at because I own all 6 Rockies. I own the 5 in a box set, and then I own Rocky Balboa, and I'm just eyeing them right now, thinking, first one might get watched tonight, I think.
What kind of eye, Alex? An eye of what? And they're also all on Netflix, all 6 of them.
Are they?
Yes, they are. Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. And just like in the summer,
Vegetable Station isn't on there, right?
And Fruitvale Station's not. Just like in the summer, it would have been a great time for me to release the Terminator 2 commentary track we did, that me and Ian did a while ago. Would have been great to release the Rocky 3 commentary track too. But
so those are just
they're gone. They're dead.
Tears in the rain. They're
dead in the water.
Yeah.
We're whizzing upstream, guys. We're whizzing upstream. But yes, Creed, highest recommendation for everybody to check it out. I just went to work, like every dude I saw was like, dude, you gotta see this movie. It's
one of those movies where like you gotta see it, and if you don't like it, don't tell me, because I don't want you to.
We're not friends. We're not friends if you don't like it. If you don't like it, we're not friends. We're not hanging out. I don't know you. So yes, that's us gushing about Creed for a half hour, but it deserves at least that.
And
after this,
we could just cut Matt out at the end of this and be like, just do another hour. That's just the spoileriest thing ever.
Gushing about.
But check out Michael B. Jordan on the Bill Simmons podcast. You should be a Bill Simmons fan before you listen. But as Matt said, there's no bigger fan of Bill Simmons than Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons. Oh,
maybe I said that.
No, I did.
No, that's definitely a Matt. That's a Matt thing.
Matt, to quote you, probably.
To quote something Matt probably said.
You know what they say, though?
Yes.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yes. I say
women be shopping, Michael B. Jordan.
Did he say anything about his name in that show? The way he's just kind of like, just happens to be named after the best basketball player ever?
In the Bill Simmons podcast?
Yeah, in the Bill Simmons podcast.
Well,
not in Creed. In Creed,
no.
Something.
What's interesting in the Bill Simmons podcast is Bill Simmons' son is named Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons is this Australian basketball player. He's about 19, and he plays for LSU. And he looks like he's going to be probably the next best thing to come to the NBA when he gets drafted next year. Like Bill Simmons says he's the best player he's seen since Kevin Durant. So he's going to be a very good player. So he breaks it in the way where he goes, is my son going to have problems having the same name as Ben Simmons? And Michael's like, I don't know. He's like, well, I'm just asking because, you had that, you had that your whole life. And Michael B. Jordan did play basketball growing up. But he says it's still hard if you try to order a pizza. Like, what's the name? Michael Jordan. Yeah, okay, guess what? Apartment 23? Yeah, and then they just have it.
Actually, I moved to
So
Washington.
he does bring that
45.
up. Of course, when you're young, obviously it tees you any which way but loose. So we'll see what happens with the young Ben Simmons, but he's a hockey player.
I think I'll name my kid Mo Vaughn, after that baseball
Mo
player
Vaughn?
in the 90s.
Yes, Matt. After
also,
Mo-
just real quick too, guys. What would you do if you made $31 million a year? What would you do with that?
Oh my god,
that kind of money.
Do you
Stop
remember
working after that?
when was it A-Rod signed that big $252 million contract? It ended up
Lordy.
being $20 million, and they were going over what you could buy with $250 million.
Yeah.
Like probably the year 2000. It's like you could buy 120 million tickets to see the Grinch or something like that. And they're going all
Jim
over.
Carrey's like,
That
you know what? It's not a
contract-
bad idea.
That contract. First of all, the Jays, the outrage of Jays fans, they're like, these hoes ain't loyal, and you're like, hey, I mean, he did play there for maybe 3 months and pitched probably 12 games. So
Yes,
how
yeah.
loyal do you expect
How
him to
loyal do you
be?
expect him to be?
This is expected, right? That was the whole thing.
He was a
business.
rental player through and through.
Yeah.
They have Marcus Stroman, they have Jay Happ and Ari Dickey,
Ron
and
Stroman.
Burley,
Mark
Burley, and someone else. So they have an
Mark
okay
might
rotation.
Mark might be done though.
You're not going to pay that much for David. The Red Sox. I mean, I'm a Red Sox fan, and even I'm thinking, yay, oh, boy. He's 30 years old. He's got a great ERA. He's got a great whip.
Yeah,
great nene.
And you can watch him nene. Does a stanky leg on the delivery.
Gronk and Price.
And the upside.
Well, they're both in Boston. They're both in Boston. There you go.
I followed Jonah Carey on Twitter, who is a good baseball writer, probably for my money, because I don't read a lot of baseball stuff, but one of the better baseball writers there are. Best there are,
best there were.
Yeah, because there's Jonah and Carey. Those are two different people. They are the best baseball writers there are. And he's saying that it's a good 3-year deal for Boston, because after 3 years it has a player option to pick up the rest of the contract. And they're thinking that if he plays really well, that he won't pick up the option and go back to free agency. And then you're not on the hook for the rest of the contract, so we'll see what happens there. So 7-year contract worth $31 million a year, $217 million, and he has a player option after the third year. I don't know what I'd buy with $31 million. I don't know what I'd buy with $31. If I made $217 million, if I made $31 million in a year, I would keep $1 million for myself, and I would personally fund Creed 2 with the other $30 million.
Good call.
That is what I would do.
That you do.
I feel like that'd be a good investment. So that is what I to answer your question, that is what I do.
There you go. Okay.
Would you donate any to charity? I'm giving you Creed 2. That's as charitable as I get.
Boom.
You all deserve it. That's all you deserve.
Yeah, that's all you deserve. You get it, but that's all you get.
Matt, $31 million, go.
What would I do with $31 million?
What would you buy? Don't be like, what would I do?
Do I have to buy one thing, or can I buy a couple things? Because I buy a very nice house.
31 million things.
I buy a very nice house.
Where? In Halifax?
In Halifax, probably South End. Probably
You get a killer crib in Halifax for that much.
Like I lived on South Park Street.
$31 million, you'd get a killer crib anywhere.
Yeah, I lived on South Park Street, and there was a house next to mine that was the exact same size. Like, if you can imagine houses on South Park Street, they're kind of divided in half. One half has like the kind of like a spire on one side, one has a door on the other. Mm-hmm. And so this house next to it was the same size, but it also had another half. So it was and it's just like it would just be so
half,
big.
even.
Yeah, a better half, exactly. And I have I have a great theater downstairs, and I have a Tesla, and that's what I do.
A Tesla. Yeah, I would buy a Tesla.
I would buy that. Tesla's like my next purchase, pretty much.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me know
like
how that
31
works out for you.
Like not including if you have $31 million, like just if you have whatever you have.
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I'm saving up, bro.
Hey, man.
They actually just raised the price of Teslas in Canada.
That's gonna be 78 and be like, I can finally afford a Tesla.
I can get there.
It's like price increase. Like, oh god,
no,
I hate inflation.
The price of electricity is going up. Matt,
does the range increase, or is it the exact same product just for more money?
It's just because the Canadian dollar is bad.
Oh, why don't they just do what Skittles does, and instead of having like a 226 gram bag, make it 191, but keep the price the same?
It's like how Coke bottles shrunk. They're
like $5.91. They have 500 ml ones. You're like, what is this?
Yeah, they're not $5.91 anymore.
Remember they used to be 600 mils?
I remember that.
Yeah, that was dope.
Them mills, though.
There are some things in rock in Creed where I'm like, okay, that is a vernacular I'm not familiar with. They'll just be like, that's what's up. And you're like, what does that mean?
One thing that doesn't spoil anything about Creed is just the trailers beforehand. There's a trailer for a movie with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, Ride Along 2. And then there's a trailer for a movie called Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart. And then there's a trailer for a movie called Barbershop. Whatever, with Ice Cube.
And
I'm like, okay.
And Nicki Minaj. And Cedric the Entertainer.
And Lamorne Morris.
And Tyga.
Tyga.
Lamorne's in there.
Is it Tyga or Tigga? I guess
it's not Tigga. It's Tyga.
It's not.
You two are still dates one of the Jenners. Caitlyn, Kendall, or Kylie. I can't remember who.
Or Caitlyn. LOL. I
started with Caitlyn.
About the trailers. Yes, you did. You did. And I'm ending it.
My joke was way more subtle.
That's right. That's right.
I had the subtle joke.
That's the subtle joke, daddy. So I wanted to try to transition to Matt's movie, which, from what I have heard of it, and I've heard other people talk about this film too. Sarah Canning, friend of the show, said it was excellent. A movie called Spotlight.
Spotlight. First spot I see tonight. Matt, tell me about it.
Spotlight.
Rap with me, brother.
Spotlight is about the Catholic sex abuse scandal in Boston, and it focused specifically on the journalism group of the Boston Globe, who was called Spotlight, which is a group which I thought was an interesting group because it's not just like. Hello, you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here.
Headphones fell out. Headphones fell out.
All right.
Still
we're wrapped with attention, and Matt walks out on us. We're just like, oh boy.
Oh man. So Spotlight is this group that it's for journalists, all of whom seem to be very talented, very capable, very hardworking. But they all work together to do like one project. And so at the beginning of the movie, they're like working on some sort of police thing. And Mark Ruffalo, who I guess you could consider kind of the lead of that movie, is like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it was really good. But they do the journalism thing where like, keep at it. It'll be good. Only in this case, the person saying that is Michael Keaton, which is great. Michael B. Keaton, I guess I should call him. And his boss is John B. Slattery. Something I really like about that, John Slattery plays Ben Bradley Jr. Okay. And Ben Bradley was the editor of the Washington Post when the Watergate scandal happened. Oh. So if you watch a really great journalism movie called All the President's Men, Ben Bradley is in it. And if you watch it, Redford and Hoffman.
Yeah, Hoffman.
It's a good movie. It's like you got to stick with it, but it's really good.
It's a 70s movie. It's long and very detailed.
Oh, but it's so juicy. It's so good. And then if you want to watch another great journalism movie, you watch Spotlight, and Ben Bradley Jr. is in it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it is an interesting connection. And it's just a really interesting, like, it's kind of like a procedural. I mean, I don't think it's kind of has those comparisons. There's not a lot of like journalism movies anyway, I guess. So like the comparisons I would make is, it's like a procedural or a couple other things that it might compare favorably with.
Could you argue that Zodiac is sort of a journalistic procedural in a way? Not argue that, but
it might be. It's a little bit close. I would say that.
Not that I'm comparing the two. I guess I'm not
for
really
sure.
comparing the two, but yeah.
Yeah, so I would say Zodiac mostly uses journalism as a feature of the movie, and there's definitely aspects of it that are like that procedural that are very that evoke All the President's Men. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, it devolves a little differently, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's not as dry as like most journalism movies would be, I would say.
Yeah, I guess it's also I won't get into Zodiac, but we'll watch it when we'll get home.
We will watch it when we'll get home this month.
We'll name. Yeah, we can name a night.
We can name a night. We'll name a night.
Can't be the 27th because I'm at a party that night. Can't be the 28th either.
Yes, son. The bowls and the puckums.
I love you guys broke into that in the middle of a movie review of a movie about a sex abuse scandal.
I think that sums our podcast.
I'm not. It's just funny.
That's us in a nutshell.
I would say like the content is uncomfortable as you would expect.
Yeah.
as you can imagine.
No kidding.
But at the same time, it seems like the people, and I mean, like, the movie is very much focused on what did the Catholic Church know, what did the bishop know, that sort of thing. A whole part of the movie is like, can we connect? If it's just one story, if it's just one instance of someone being abused by a priest, then it's not as terrible as it is. It doesn't have the same impact as it was systemic, I think is a word they use multiple times in the movie.
Yeah, that sounds like the proper word.
And there's a moment of the movie where somebody says, like, they're talking with someone. This isn't really a spoiler. Like, yeah, I think we have 6 instances of this happening, and the guy's like, oh, well, the percentage of that is actually, like, in my experience, it's closer to 6%. And so they do the math, and they're like, that's 80 priests. That's well over 10 times the amount we have. And the guy was like, yep. Probably.
Oh boy!
And they're like, "Whoa!" Anyway, so it's a really interesting movie.
The cast is just they're all home run hitters.
Is Ruffalo in it?
Ruffalo's in it. We got Rachel McAdams in it. Michael B. Keaton, like I said, and I think something that's really good. So the Spotlight team is 4 people, which is 3 of those aforementioned people, and another guy who I've never heard of or ever seen before. And so it's kind of funny in a movie with a cast like that.
I love that, though, when some guy where it's 3
up.
Heavy hitters and just like some rando. And you're like, oh, boy.
And you're like, I guess I have to treat this guy the same way.
He's the first one to die, I'll tell you that much.
He's the red coat.
Each one of them has a story of their own, which is not easy to do in a movie. To have 4 characters have their own story, their own journey they go through.
That you're interested in.
Yeah, and it's like they do it exceptionally well. And it's just... Yeah, they did an excellent job with it.
This might be a terrible comparison, but it's sort of like the overlap of the story goes in the way that if it's one instance, it's fine. It's not fine, but it's not anything systemic like you said. But it ends up being so. It's kind of like the NFL concussion thing, where you're like, well, if one thing happens, fine, and then you kind of keep digging and digging. You go, whoa, okay. Not only is this much worse than we thought. But in addition to that, people are actively trying to hide it from the public.
Right, exactly. That
yeah.
You should check out that movie, too, when it comes out.
Yeah. I think that comes out Christmas Day, so it's not really
does come out Christmas Day.
Romp that I'd like to see. But
yeah.
Spotlight is definitely the next on the list for me.
Yeah.
In between Creed and Creed comes Spotlight.
So Spotlight is good. And I don't think it's not uncomfortable to the extent that you'd be like, oh my gosh, because sometimes you watch a movie, you're like, oh, this is medicine, this is homework, but it's not. It's still entertaining.
You don't got to.
I want to say just 2 other things about movies in general. But
sure.
The first one is specifically about Spotlight. I was probably like me and Emily were probably like the youngest people there, or amongst the youngest people there, and the audience it attracted, I would say, was kind of more of a baby boomer group, and a little bit too much kind of audible whispering in the movie theater.
Oh yeah,
baby boomers, you gotta
bad form baby boomers.
If you don't do it, I'm not talking to you. But there was a level where I was like, all right,
Come on, BBs.
Like, okay, I get it. It was a shocking moment, but you're actually lessening it by speaking about it over there.
Yeah,
actually,
save for the end.
I actually slightly looked at someone too, which I don't do in movies. I'm not comfortable enough.
Slightly looked at
someone. That's a whole thing, right? You look at someone.
Slightly, almost kind of looked at someone.
So
yes, I know.
The other thing I did, and you guys got to tell me if this is something that has happened to you before. I got an email today from Cineplex that was like, "Hey, do you want to go see the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 movie for free?"
Oh no, I've never got that.
Cool.
And so I was like, it was coming up like actually it's later tonight. And I was like, if free means free, then okay, sure. I don't have anything going on with it tonight. Why not? So I guess I'm going to that tonight.
Okay,
nice.
So me and Mac can gush about
Monday
Hunger
night.
Games Mockingjay Part 2 next week.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel the crud out of it.
I think we're coming to the end of the podcast here. I feel like we got to talk about Star Wars next week, guys, because it's a week from Friday.
So I feel like we're gonna try and see that together when we'll come. So man, our nights are filling up, or maybe we won't.
I have my ticket. I have my ticket for the 18th, but I'm definitely gonna see it again.
Okay.
I got my ticket for the 17th. I got my bottle of Skywalker wine ready.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
sneak in to get loaded on.
Sneak in the theater. It's in a box.
So I have not already pre-purchased tickets, but I will probably. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait because I'm excited for it. I am a Star Wars fan.
Trying not to be right now. I'm actually I'm doing a pretty good job forgetting about it right now. So I'm
it's gonna hit
very
you.
hard with myself on the back right now. because I'm doing a
You're
pretty
gonna
good
cry
job
during
not
Star
paying
Wars,
attention.
you big.
Yeah,
you-
we'll
I
talk
cried,
about it
dude.
next week.
The
though.
trailer makes me cry.
Oh, the trailer's so good.
That doesn't make me cry, but watching Donnie Boyega's reaction, I get a little. We gotta start taking medication or something. We are.
I think there's some
we
emotional
have
problems
too
that
much
work through
estrogen
us.
in us or
No,
something.
these are human people. I'm allowed to cry because I'm an actor.
I mean, the
You
other thing
guys
too
have
is
no
that
excuses.
movies are supposed to make you feel things.
I'm
So
just,
feeling
I'm
things
just a
really means-
simple B word, isn't that what call me?
I can promise you that I will promise you that my eyes were bone dry throughout the entirety of Mockingjay Part 2, though. I was like,
great.
I'm out of M&Ms in my popcorn. That was
we got to one thing at a time.
and I shed a tear.
If you want to console Will, you can find him on Twitter. Will, where will you find you on Twitter?
I'm at William C. Vaughn.
Excellent.
On Twitter?
If you want to engage Alex in a
Yes.
in a riveting discussion of Creed on
Yes.
Twitter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm at Alex
up.
B Shopping, ALEXBV.
Two
Shopping
Bs.
spelled VAUGHANICS. I'm at Evonics, EVAUGHANICS. I see you follows out there. No, I'm just kidding. No one listens to this. But yeah, hit me up.
Woof.
yeah, for sure. I am on Twitter at mpvaughn if you want to talk to me about I don't know, kettle corn, peanut M&Ms.
Kettle corn, that's a fun time snack.
I spell kettle corn with a Q.
I spell kettle corn with a Q-U. Well, don't. And I can't stop. I can't wait
Lord,
till December 10th when I can watch the first special.
Shout out to everybody who watched Christmas Note on the Hallmark Channel last Sunday.
Yes,
Thank you very much. I haven't seen any of it, but I did see a clip of like someone recording on a TV, a clip of like one of the last scenes, and it had John Lennon's "War Is Over" on it. So I was like, "Well, that's the coolest thing that's happened to me." I think.
I saw it on Spotify. I was putting together a Christmas Carol list and two songs that I love, or not Christmas Carol, but Christmas song list. One is "The River," which is a Joni Mitchell song, but covered by Robert Downey Jr. when he was on Ally McBeal. That is not on there, nor is "War Is Over" by
War Is Over.
Yeah, I
By
do
the way,
have
you
"Merry
won.
Christmas, Happy Holidays" by NSYNC.
By the
it's a
way,
wonderful
if you want your eyes to not be bone dry, watch the video for "War Is Over" because it's the saddest thing ever.
Oh my gosh, Will.
You should really get some help.
Hey, man, when I see you guys at the airport, I don't know.
Be a
Well,
man.
can I say
Be
that
a
it
man.
gets
Rub some
better,
dirt
Will?
in it.
It's gonna be a little emotional when you guys standing there.
Okay.
Will,
I
have
don't
a
know.
good week. Don't cry.
I'm gonna try to cry all over you. Try to cry in your. I'm gonna try to cry in your mouth. I'm gonna cry.
Taste
Cry in your
that,
mouth.
Michael.
We
Taste
gotta
that.
stop this. We gotta stop
Tastes
this.
a lot like sad.
Tastes a lot like sad. All right.
it was good. It was
We'll
a good
see you
week.
next week, or we'll see you never.
Yeah, exactly. I'll see you there. I'll see you some other time.
Bye.
Bye. See. Bye. Krampus is coming.